This day, 1396, Arukh HaShulchan, it's Purim Day. And here where I'm recording the Shir, and Kol Pasha Yoda Noisim Lo, and we should have a Bechira V'Nafochu, Ashish Lu Yehudim Heil B'Soneim, B'Chol Makom, B'Chol Asar V'Asar. Today we're doing Yerodea Siman Reish Nun Zayin, Yud Aleph to Tes Zayin. Yurav, Kshenshor Tzichem Yisrael b'chol ma she'yizbar k'dei shedun k'mochem mutar am chabdom le'chshtu osam. It's like the Gaboim are commanded to be careful. Everything which you've clarified in order that people should not be suspect of them, so too people should honor them and not suspect them. Once they've trusted them, we assume they're trustworthy people. The Chachamim tell us, talking about not them Moshe Kalisam. We don't reckon with Gaboy Tzedakah to ask them, where'd you put the money that you collected? That's from Rashi to Babasa Daftes. So lo behektish imagizbarim saying even not by hektish with the treasurers. Va'apish ein ma'il davar zeradav. Even though there's no proof of this, there is an indication of this. Shemar says the Malachim b'tikum beis hamikdash, when they fix beis hamikdash. This is after Parashas Shkolim. Shkolim l'echshu l'sanasher sheidnu es hakesef ayadam l'seis l'sei amluchaki b'emunah heim osim. We don't reckon with the people who will collect the money for the money for the beis hamikdash. We'll give it to them to the actually people who could distribute the money to the workers because they do it with trust. Right, it's not a complete proof. Perhaps they were absolute tzaddikim. Also, there were a lot of workers, a lot of malachas for many works. The goydrim to people who to the woodworkers, the chotzvei eben, and stone workers, the katofim, porters, the chamorim, donkey drivers, and the people who built with the wood and the quarried stones. You can't, it's beyond reckoning. That's from Rashi there. And the brackets here, says, you can't lemon us on Raktanki, but now Mosim. Ask case why the only reason given because we trust them. Because let's say it's because it's hard to reckon. One can resolve that question. You basically nevertheless there's some Rashi print here, but it looks like it's a mistake. Hashem, we saw in order to be clean from Hashem, from Am Yisrael, it's good for them to be reckoning. Milad Gol Moshe Rabbeinu, who's great Moshe Rabbeinu, son of Cheshbon Mishkan, who gave reckoning on the Mishkan. See, Parashas Pekudei, like it says in Parashas Pekudei. Hashem says in Moshe, Ish Emunos Rab Brachos, the person who is trustworthy is full of blessing. Zem Moshe Chuli, it's Moshe. Abi Shoyan Gizbar Latzmo. Even though he was a treasure unto himself, he called other people and reckoned through with them. The why didn't the Chazal make it come upon the workers? Because he's like they decreed upon them the things which are stated above. Not sure what he's referring to. It's not comparable. The reckoning there's no case of suspicion. But the other things which I mentioned, I guess they're about the Gaboim. In other words, why do we require Gaboim to give a cheshbon? And why do we require them to do all those other things to be beyond suspicion? Because by cheshbon, I guess since there's no room for suspicion, since it's anybody can make the cheshbon. I don't know why. But the things above, like, pockets and stuff like that, it's a place for suspicion. Moshe's part. But the cheshbon is Torah also. In making reckoning, there's a lot of difficulty. That's in requirement of them. For the cheshbon, also by the cheshbon, they already gave them trust. They bestow trust in them. Therefore, when they're actually appointed, they're appointed on the condition that they give reckonings, accountings. I still have to account for them, give accountings. That's the committee that they do give accountings. Interesting. Where the person in charge is a salaried position, not a volunteer, he certainly has to give an accounting. Also about kosher officials. Somebody who's not kosher, he was appointed through thuggery and his strength. So I think when he has to give reckoning. Who I think it's true about all people appointed on the community. When the tzibur wants, they can remove the gabbai and appoint another one. No issue suspicion. For the inshar memunim akal is true by every other position of appointment. Akal shana and quote from the Ramah. Only after the time she appointed is over. But during the time, by the yesh chasayim sakul, people will certainly be suspicious if you remove them at that time. That's a shach. There's no set time, no term. They can move it. There's no suspicion. If people at random times switch the appointed officials. It's obvious. That even if he was appointed with the consent of the community, with Shomesh Kohen Olav Tagar, but they hear that people are quite dubious and question him. They suspect him. He has to give a reckoning. That's also from the Shach. But you don't have to give a cheshbon to everybody who complains. Because there's no limit. Also, there's certain things where you can't show the expenses publicly. You should look for 2 or 3 of the respected people in the city and give the reckoning to them. In the brackets, he says here, whatever the Shach says, the correct gives says, the cheshbon made in court of everybody who complains. Okay. You doubt. Kasser Rabbeinu HaBeis Yosef. The Beis Yosef writes, Basif Hey, if there's a shortcoming in the shortfall in the tzedakah fund, the Gabbai has to borrow. And when he has more money sometime later, he pays back from the tzedakah fund. And so it shows me that's because he doesn't have to get permission of the people who are putting the money in the fund. Is also clarifying Yerushalmi and Ksubas. Lenient Nisui is some in terms of marrying off an orphaness. The law is like he who holds you have to borrow the money. And it's clearly talking about a case where he knows that there's going to be money at some point in the future. Somebody who says that I loaned so and so much money to the tzedakah fund, that money is believable without a shvua, but not after he removed them. Those who say no, he's believed even after he removed them. That's primary Girsa, says the Bach. But it's only been said at the time that's being removed. But if after when they removed, didn't say anything. The day the lady says, oh well, I have to borrow. It's not believed. But the language, even after it's removed, does not seem to indicate that. So this is question from the Shach. It's not clear what the Lamaisa. But if a gabbai is kosher and trustworthy, even after he's been removed, even without an oath. Near the it seems it's not so trustworthy. So require an oath even before they remove him. So as amigo, he could have taken from the wild himself, not borrowed from others, or not loaned to others, not. I'm not sure. I guess he would have been, if he says he borrowed money from others, he's believed Migo, they could have said borrow from him by himself, and he's believed. We don't say Migo to exempt from Mishua. And basically, basically lean on him and accept a lighter shvua. Obviously, everything is relative. Tesla, because Rabbeinu Ramah Steve Hay, Misha Mavish Masro, so if somebody separates his mice to Virabal Ani Mishalo, and loan money to a poor person from his own, Mavish Mice slowly separates his mice, and he reckons every loan to the poor person, and keeps for himself whatever he separated. It's only when the person to whom he loaned the money is still alive. A mace, when he's died, and he's rich, and it's like a chalet. A poor person does not have to pay back. Because he was rich and he was poor at that time. And you don't set aside, not mafish on him. They mafrishan over. We don't set aside for something for which is lost. We're not concerned they became rich unless we know how kind of shut up. Very cryptic. I don't know what it's talking about. Says Arukh HaShulchan. The din said of Mishnah so parking on the kitten. This comes from the Mishnah third by kitten. Hamav Moses coin so Levi Sani. This is told by Makir Kuna. You loan money to coin Levi money, and then you're mafresh meiser truma meiser rishon or meiser ani, and you keep it yourself because you pay the coin already. I ain't Vav Gashamin. You know, they say the gamba mace. No, there's just me. Even if the coin or Levi ani dies, you get permission from the heirs. And Namzesha Kuna Bia. That's owned by Kuna Bia. The Gamba Yoshu Kohen Beam, where the heirs also Kohen Beam, but only Mokum Avim, and they are in lieu of their fathers. Mashagin only Bosha. Doesn't apply a person who got rich. That's the decision Shami there. After the commercial, Matzkin, Shiskalem, Charchamaisa, the Achim, no, it says that you have to be Mazaka the Maisa to them. No, you can't just make the agreement without being Mazaka. The Lemon, let's 6 of a why require that here. After the Plus Command Masham, it's possible that the Pascal command there's Osha Shade Zocha Gazocha. Even though he was not Zocha, it's as if he was Zocha. Or is there say about a close acquaintance? And here too, Lani to me loan the money is probably from the people of his close acquaintance. So, evidently the halacha here is halacha that if you loan money to an ani, you can be, instead of being collecting from him, over time you can collect from your maisa ani and from your your maisa, which whatever maisa you give, and as long as the ani is still alive and poor. Only once the ani is dead or he's become rich, it doesn't work anymore. You might be able to demand back payment from him, but you can't be menachem from you, take off from your maisa. Therefore, that's what he says. You can loan money to the poor person, and then deduct the payback. That's from your stock. It's called a day acher, and mezaka that money to him to a third party, even though you're not going to give him the money. The this year it's going to everybody. Ach shemes, but the only got poor, because died. Only got rich, and you're going to cost. That's it. All bets are over. Now, but when you loan money to a kihila, you can always deduct from your mitzvah on their reckoning. After making even some of them became died, the Shimon says some they became rich, and it's even amazing. See what does die in the vacation means that they're always going to be poor people. Shami says there, so it's which is completely poor, completely rich. Tesai, Gaboy Tzedakah have a mitzvah to be a Gaboy Tzedakah is a great mitzvah. So should not be concerned that people insult you or taunt you, Mekayim and curse you, but other on the contrary. This you get even greater reward. Came for Bishami Shilipea. It's going to be fear of Bishami Shilipea. Rabbi Lezer have a parnas. Rabbi Lezer was a parnas. Chazan Nachas the base. Once he came to his house, Amalon my my avidatun. He came to the house. He said, "What are you doing, Amalei?" They said to him, "Asal Chatzia." A group of people came. I guess he came to his own house. So what happened here? And he said, a group of people came for Achim Shas, and they ate and drank with Tunalach, and they died for you. I'm alone. So he said, "Leisa Gartov." I don't get a good reward from that. Nachas Matina came down second. I'm alone. My avidatun. What happened today? They said, "Asal Chatzia." A group of people came for Achim Shas, and they ate and drank with Kulach, and they cursed you. Meaning that they mocked him and cursed him. I'm alone. Oh, Kedei Akartov. Now this I eat Akartov, and this I get good reward. But Garbage, be careful not to give his wealth is more than other poor people. Money is not, it's not his. Certainly a person gives his own stock, can give more to his relatives, as he pleases, but not a garbage stock. Five come out nice and Mikisa himself because of his own pocket, and cool on the should not give to one ani, and Zemat to each person a little bit. Chazal said, nice and nice to coin Echad. Everybody gives Matanas to one Kohen, maybe Olam brings a famine to the world. Also, there's a poor person who has rich relatives. Let his relatives be in Parnasa, and don't give him from the funds. Even though those rich people also give money to the public fund, still don't give to you from this. The who don't have rich relatives. Now that is the end of Zion, but and to the end of the day's quota. But Zion's last sif in the siman, so let's do Zion to finish the siman. It's time Misha Niach most Bialishto, somebody left money in his hand of his wife, Sham Revach at the end of Chumash Shatirza, there's my mitzvah from the prophet. She should give for the mitzvah to whoever she wants. Vakanya Rak Tachas Yoda. She should just hold on to the principle. And Karen Biad Acher. If she can't put this principle in somebody else's hands, I feel we started even she's though that's a tzaddik. Thus she can't deviate from her husband's intent. When the agent changes from the agent the intent of the person who made him the agent, but she's no avoid. I mean, that's a chacham ear is a gadol, but if you pointed to this post, in other words, your own personal gabbai, the chacham of the city or some great person, or mina, we say the daito she has a komashitz ben makarim is ben reva. Say you had in mind that the chacham should do whatever he wants, even with the principle, not just with the prophet. Not like that. In Losh Perish Fashion, let's say explicitly Shloyot came down, so he doesn't want the principle to be spent. You come call never Lishtov and over Shailim Sor. I guess the Chacham, let him go, give it to his wife and children. Call Mafki, Das Lishto Bana Mafki, but he gives a Pikodon, even Totem Gadol, gives it with the assumption that it's going to be given for safekeeping to the members of his household, his wife and kids. Bracket says they came to buy the very Shulchan, he would have a pin to the very Koskesi, the very Gra. Mason says, wherever somebody says there's a contradiction, there's no contradiction for Duke.